Marcus said. Paused. He said you'd never leave unless we pushed. And God, I hate myself for agreeing. Took a sip of tea. I miss you, she whispered. But I don't know how to fix it. Studied her face. Every line. Every flinch. Looking for forgiveness, afraid to ask. Gave her silence. Sometimes silence is safer than truth. Sat like that nearly an hour. She didn't ask for money. Help. Just wanted to be near. I let her, stood to leave. Reached for my hand. I'm sorry. For everything. Didn't say it back. Held her hand longer than expected. She pulled away first. Tears welling. Walked out, didn't cry. Door clicked shut. Sank into my chair. Held the warmth of her teacup. She came. Looked me in the eye. Cracks were showing. Real power never needs to shout. You pull a string. Close a door. Watch those who underestimated you squirm. Marcus squirmed. After Sophia's visit, things darkened. Maintenance said Marcus became unhinged. Stormed the office weekly. Demanded the owner's name. Wanted someone to blame. Spiral, he started digging. Knew he would. Possessive. Poked around for Grayson Holdings. I was ready. He looked up the LLC. Filed through a privacy trust. No leads. Phishing emails to my property manager. Pretending to be a tenant. Sloppy. Called the title office pretending to be a lawyer. Clerk flagged it. Reported, when roots failed, he turned inward. Sophia, a neighbor, called management. Heard glass breaking. Raised voices. Anger born of fear. Maintenance went up. No answer. Through the door, Marcus pacing, muttering. Sophia crying. Silence heavier than yelling. Days later. Strange envelope. No name. Inside, a note. I know what you're doing. Think you're clever? You don't scare me. I'll find you. Regret it. No signature. Recognized the handwriting. Marcus. Pressed hard. Angry. Uneven, sat with the letter. Heart thudding. Memory. Him looking me in the eye like dirt. Sophia complicit. Now he grasped at shadows. Choked on uncertainty. Poetic. Dangerous, doubled down. Lawyer contacted building security. More surveillance. Discreet. Legal. Protected other tenants. The building wouldn't fall because one man couldn't handle his cruelty. Sophia. Stopped calling. Heard she walked to work. Car sold. Utilities cut back. Lights off early. No heat some nights. Cracks in survival, kept my distance. This was resolution. Letting Marcus's world shrink until he realized how small he was. Letting Sophia decide, stay in the cage. Or find the key, knew she wasn't ready. Walls closing in. Secrets leak, didn't expect the knock. Quiet for days. No threats. Silence like a crouched storm. Knock came. Soft. Slow. Chest tightened, opened the door. Sophia stood there. Soaked from rain. Grocery bag clutched to her chest. Eyes red. Mouth opened. Nothing. Run out of words, stepped aside. She walked in. Dripping water. Handed her a towel. Moved without speaking. Warmed the kettle. Chamomile tea. She sat on the couch edge. Didn't deserve to stay. Stared into her cup. Hollow. He's not who I thought, she said finally. Silent. I mean. I knew. Part of me knew. Told myself it was stress. He needed support. Patience. Still silent. Looked up. Voice trembling. He thinks someone's targeting us. Obsessed. Going through my phone. Emails. Last week. Followed me to work. Said he was making sure I wasn't involved. Shivered. He asked if I was hiding something. If you were hiding something. Caught my breath. Didn't wait, told him I hadn't spoken to you in weeks. Didn't know where you were. Paused. That was a lie. Met her eyes. Found your building listed. Same management company. Figured it out. Wasn't hard. Of course it wasn't. Sophia was smart. Smart doesn't always mean brave. Now she looked like someone who opened her eyes and hated what she saw. I didn't speak. Not yet. I miss you, she whispered. But I don't know how to be around you anymore. Hand tightened around the mug. You left, she said, voice cracking. And I let you. I let him push you out. Finally spoke. No, Sophia. You didn't let him. You stood with him. Stopped her cold. Blinked. Lips parted. Wanted to deny. Defend. Nothing left, stood up. Walked to the window. Stared into the night. I begged for your voice that night, I said. Just one word. One. And you stayed silent. Behind me, a quiet, broken exhale. I didn't think it would get this bad, she said. You can't manage a man like that, I said softly. You survive him. Or you leave him. Didn't respond. Didn't have to. Sat in silence. Two women sharing blood, not trust. Not yet. Maybe never, stood to leave. Set the mug down carefully. Eyes rimmed with tears. I don't expect forgiveness. Just needed to remember what safe felt like. Walked her to the door. Paused. Turned back. Wrapped her arms around me. Didn't return the hug at first. Then did. Gently. Cautiously. Holding a memory, pulled back. Didn't say goodbye. Looked at me one last time. Left, door closed. Something shifted deep inside. Not forgiveness. Yet. The faintest flicker of something that might grow into it. The invitation went out Tuesday morning. Professional. Quiet. Mandatory meeting. Upcoming renovations. Common room next week. Knew Marcus would be there. Couldn't resist. Wanted a name. A face. A finger to point. No idea he'd walk into the hands of the woman he discarded. Arrived early. Charcoal blazer. Dark jeans. Simple. Elegant. Unrecognizable. Hair soft waves. Looked nothing like the woman begging at their table. Common room filled. Tenants trickled in. Curious. Annoyed. Indifferent. Then Marcus stormed in. Swagger expecting confrontation. Sophia trailing like a shadow. Didn't look around. Didn't notice me. Saw only the property manager. Where is she? He demanded. I want to speak to the person in charge. Today. Manager calm. All questions during the presentation. Marcus scoffed. Sophia looked down, sat near the back. Silent. Presentation began. Upgrades. Timelines. New security. Landscaping. Improved insulation. Practical. Smart. Funded partly by the rent. Marcus protested. Manager paused. We'd like to thank Grayson Holdings for their commitment. The owner is here today. Questions welcome. Stood up. Room turned. Walked slowly forward. Calm. Steady. Every step a drumbeat. Marcus's face twisted. Confusion. Disbelief. Sophia's mouth parted in shock, turned to the room. Good evening. My name is Evelyn. I own this building. Pin drop. Marcus stood up fast. Chair scraped. You? This is a joke. What game is this? Looked at him. Saw the cracks. Sweat. Puffiness. Panic. No game, I said softly. Just business. He stepped forward. You manipulated this. Behind it all. Raised our rent. Trying to ruin us. Held my ground. I gave you a roof. Made improvements. Treated every tenant equally. What I didn't do was forget. He opened his mouth. I turned back to the group. Questions about changes or improvements? Happy to answer after. Thank you. Stepped aside. Meeting resumed. Tension thick. Marcus didn't sit. Trembling. Furious. Sophia sat, hands clasped. Eyes wide. Wet. Meeting ended. Tenants came. Shook hands. Asked questions. Thanked me. Some suspected. Most didn't. Marcus waited. Room emptied. Marched toward me. You think you've won? He hissed. This is nothing. You've made an enemy. Stared at him. Eyes level. No, Marcus. I didn't make anything. You did. The day you looked me in the eye and treated me like I didn't matter. Sophia stepped between us. Marcus. Stop. He turned. Shocked. What did you just? I said. Stop, she repeated, louder. She's not your enemy. She never was. You are. Looked at her like she'd struck him. She had. Sophia turned to me. Voice trembling. I didn't know. Swear. The building. The money. Any of it. Nodded. I know. Why didn't you tell me? Because you had to see it. Not just hear it. Blinked back tears, Marcus scoffed, stepping back. You two deserve each other. No, I said quietly. She deserves better. Turned. Walked away, for the first time since that awful night. Felt something shift. Not revenge. Not satisfaction. Power. Quiet. Firm. Entirely mine. Sophia showed up 4 days later. Holding something that made my knees buckle. A book. Faded leather. Corner torn. Spine barely holding. My mother's journal. Opened the door. Wordless. She stepped in. Eyes wide. Breath shaky. Found it in my closet, she said. Last time I visited. You must have left it. Placed it on the coffee table. Sacred. I read it. My heart stopped. Wasn't trying to pry. Recognized her handwriting. I was just looking for sense. Silence fell. Heavy. I didn't know, she whispered. About Arthur Callahan. The money. The trust. Any of it. Nodded once. I didn't either. Not until I had nothing else to lose. Her voice broke. Mom. Why? Why let me believe you were helpless? Looked her in the eye. She didn't look away, because I was helpless. The night you closed the door. I had no plan. No money. No place to cry without someone knocking. I found the journal counting coins for dinner. Hadn't spoken to anyone in a week. That journal didn't just tell me who I was. It reminded me I mattered. That my mother loved me. Fought for me. Silently. So I could one day discover the truth. Become more. Sophia sat down. Hands clenched. I don't know how I became the daughter who could do that. I keep asking myself. Walked to the window. Stared out. You didn't become her all at once. Small choices. Letting things slide. Choosing peace over truth. Believing love meant loyalty. Even when it hurt. She stood. Walked toward me. I've left him. Words hit the air. He tried to go through my things again. My laptop. My bag. I told him no. That was it. He screamed. Packed a bag. Left. Said he'd be back. I changed the locks next day. Turned to her. Stunned. I don't know who I am without him, she admitted, trembling. But I'd rather find out than keep disappearing. Silence passed. Thick. Looked down at the journal. You didn't deserve it. What I did. What we did. Can't fix it. but I want to try. Walked back. Sat beside her. I used to dream of hearing that. But now, they don't fix the past. They rewrite it. She looked confused, held her hand gently. You see me now. That changes everything. Sat together. Long time. Silence that doesn't hurt. Heals. Comes after truth speaks. Before leaving, she paused. You didn't raise me to be weak. I just forgot how strong you were. Smiled softly. No. You didn't forget. You stopped looking. Now she was seeing. Who I became. Who I'd always been. The email from Marcus came. Stomach churned. We need to talk. Now, I know everything. The building. The inheritance. Your secret with Callahan. Think you're clever? Ruin my life? Walk away smiling? Undo this or I go to the press. Your name. Your mother's affair. Everything. See how your reputation holds up, stared. Stunned silence. He'd connected the dots. Through Sophia or digging. Discovered the truth. Wasn't afraid. Planned for this, forwarded to my attorney. Next morning, Marcus got a cease and desist. Records of every threat. Falsified documents he tried submitting. Tampered emails traced to his IP. Tenant complaints. Sabotage logs. Audio clips of rants. Defamation. Harassment suit. Enough, he panicked. Amanda called 2 days later. He's gone, she said, shaking. Packed while I was at work. Left a note. Said he was being hunted. Said you ruined his life. He ruined his own, I said quietly. Silence. I'm sorry. Again. Forever thinking he deserved my silence. You were scared, I replied. I've been there. Fear makes you small. You don't have to stay. Marcus tried retaliation. Vague rants online. Corruption. Betrayal. Never named names. Couldn't. Second attorney letter threatened legal action for every word. He went quiet. Publicly, privately, knew he'd never forget. The woman he kicked out owned his roof. His lease. The keys to every locked door. Sophia transformed. Moved out within a month. Small studio near work. Started therapy. Joined an art class. Painted something for me. An abstract phoenix. Reds. Golds. Hung it above my fireplace. Talked more often. Real. Honest. No pretending. Final piece came. Envelope from Mr. Harrison. Congratulations, Evelyn. Building officially transferred. Final tenant signed. Lawsuit against Mr. Thorne resolved in your favor. Free to sell, hold, or restructure. Folded the letter. Held it. Not about money. Property. Revenge. About truth. Reclaiming my name. My story. My strength. Next morning. Called a realtor. ready to close the chapter. Opened the door to living, not surviving. Sold the building late spring. Paperwork signed. Bright, cloudless Tuesday. Quiet click of a pen. Handshake. Weight of grief, betrayal, silence lifting off, money wired next day. Didn't celebrate. Wrote a check. Large. Half the proceeds to a local shelter for women and children in crisis. The place I wish I'd known existed that night on the curb. Asked them to build a wing named after my mother. The Eleanor Wing, honoring the woman who gave me strength in silence. Hid secrets so I could discover truth. Become more, other half bought a small house. Not extravagant. Charming 2-bedroom on the street where I grew up. Oak trees. Porch swing. Space for quiet. Healing. Tomatoes, moving day. Sophia helped carry boxes. Didn't say much. Neither did I. After unpacking, sat beside me on the porch swing. Legs tucked. Eyes scanning the street. Remembering, I remember riding my bike here, she said softly. Before everything got complicated. Nodded. You were always safe here. I forgot how that felt, she whispered, didn't talk about Marcus. Didn't need to. His chapter closed without drama. Silence. Disappeared. New city. New job. Probably a new lie. Signed an NDA. Dropped threats. Ghost, Sophia stayed for dinner. Grilled cheese. Tomato soup. Like when she was little. Laughed when she burned one. I laughed when she blamed the pan. First real laughter in years, after she left, stood at the window. Tea in hand. Moonlight on the lawn. First time in a long time. Said the words aloud, I forgive you. Not to Sophia. To myself. That was the hardest part. Not rising from ashes. Learning I was never the fire they tried to extinguish. I was the spark they underestimated. They taught me silence was weakness. I weaponized it. Tried to erase me. I became unforgettable, sat on the couch. Opened the journal one last time. Tucked a note inside for Sophia to find someday. You don't need their love to be worthy. You don't need their approval to be strong. You only need the truth, and to never forget who you are. Clock ticked softly. Tea grew cold. Heart. Finally warm, didn't need to scream. Didn't need to win. Just needed to be who I was all along, now, finally. I was home, thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. Feel free to share your story in the comments. Your voice matters.